What it is, guys, it is IPossessThePower, aka Jordan, and welcome back to the channel. For you guys today, I have the new Citadelle des Morts Easter egg guide. This one's going to be my own version of it, where we are not going to be going over how to build and upgrade all of the swords in the main Easter egg guide. I'm just going to be giving you guys all the main Easter egg guide steps. If you want to know how to build and upgrade all the swords, I have all 4 of those on my channel. Feel free to check them out before coming to this video, or any other guide that's going to teach you how to build and upgrade those swords. And once you've done that, you want to make your way over to this video, and then we're going to kick it off with our first Easter egg step, which is to speak to craft. Now when you load up into the map, you will get a kind of narrative to turn on the pack-a-punch, and once you've done that, you want to make a left into the quick revive room, and we are going to be speaking to craft in this room behind quick revive at this door here. You just want to go up and interact with it. If it doesn't work, just back away, come back, and then hold square on again, and it should work. But the only prerequisite for this first is you just need to turn on the pack-a-punch, otherwise it won't work before that. So go ahead and speak to him, and then we're going to be kicking it off with pretty much our first main step, which is to acquire 4 incantations for each of the upgraded swords. Now the first sword we're going to be starting off with is the fire incantation. So with that upgraded fire sword, what you want to do is make your way over to the upper ramparts, which is in the upper level of the courtyard, and we are going to be lighting these 3 bonfires on fire. You can use Molotovs or any kind of fire to light them. However, obviously it is free to use the sword by just charging it and killing zombies. When you've got a full charge on it, what you want to do is activate your special ability at this bonfire. The first one here is just on the left side of the castle, and what's going to happen is that's going to light up and a bunch of zombies are going to fly out of it, and then you just need to kill them. You can kill them any way you want, however you are going to need to do this 3 times, so it's better to use your sword to charge it up again, so we can then carry on with the next one, which is just going to be in line with the cannon that we used to open the castle door. You just want to fire it. You'll see it there just behind that little barricade, and that will be our second one, and it's going to be the same deal. It's going to spit out a bunch of zombies, and we're going to charge up our sword with them, and then go to our third and final one, bonfire, which is going to be on the right hand side of the map, just to the left of the oil trap. However, with this one, once you guys have done this and shot it and the zombies have come in the map, you are going to get one of those really kind of speedy amalgams spawn in. That is the one that we're looking for. You see right here, pretty much one shot him, and he is going to drop an item for us called Ra's Ankh. And with that, what we want to do is we just want to jump down into the courtyard, and we're going to see this kind of glowing yellow circle here. We're going to put the relic in, and this is essentially a soul box. So if you aren't familiar with soul boxes, the way they work is you just need to get zombie kills around it. It doesn't matter how you do it. You can use grenades, your sword, guns, anything like that, score streaks. You just need to get kills around it, and it will charge it up. So once you guys have killed enough zombies, you will see that the circle will disappear, and instead will be a pedestal with a chest. So with the upgraded sword, what we want to do is melee it, and that will give us our first incantation, which is the fire one, and we can move on to the next one, which will be lightning. So the first step in getting the electric incantation is going to be making our way over to the Deadshot Daiquiri area, and inside of this kind of horse stable is going to be a horseshoe above this door here. What you want to do is just come in here and shoot it. It's going to drop down and you're going to pick it up. This is Otto's horseshoe. Once you have that, we are going to make our way over to the cannon up on the castle, and for 500 points you're going to go for a bit of a joyride back to spawn. So when you guys take the rampart cannon, it is going to take the horseshoe out of your inventory, and instead is going to spawn a lightning cloud in the sky. It is usually to the right hand side of spawn if you're facing the castle. It's just this cloud over here. A lot of the times these will be the only 2 places I've ever had of it spawn. One was right there, and the second one is over here. Now as you get towards it, you will have zombies spawn in, so just be careful of that. But you see here we now have the Pegasus horseshoe, and we just want to go ahead and pick that up. Now it's just like the last step, we're going to be filling a soul box, and the location for this one is just going to be here to the left hand side of spawn if you're actually heading towards the Juggernaut machine. And we're going to place that horseshoe down, and that's going to start our soul box ritual. So just like before, we just need to be killing a bunch of zombies any way possible. You can also use your special ability on your sword, and the lightning sword has a pretty cool one here, as you can see. But once you guys have charged up that circle, that soul box, same thing, we're going to get a chest spawn up that we need to hit with our upgraded sword, and that's going to give us the electric incantation, and with the in hand that's 2 out of 4, and we can move on to our third one, the light incantation. Now the first step for the light incantation is to make our way into the statue room, and they're going to be a bunch of crystals in here that we need to redirect light to the next room onto a certain mannequin head to acquire a part. Now the first one is just going to be a Buff Vulture Aid. That is our main light that starts it all off. We're going to shoot that until it gets to this one, and then you're pretty much just going to be following the crystals and shooting the mirrors to kind of move it to line up the laser with the next crystal. Depending on how you want to move the mirror depends on which side of it you stand on. So this is where we want it to end up, on this mannequin head here, and you can see that my laser's facing the wrong way. So what I want to do is I actually want to shoot it to another crystal that I missed. You can see it up on this wall here. So I want to face this way here, and I can shoot the crystal to turn it to face that laser, and then we just need to shoot it one more time. So there's about 5 or 6 crystals you do need to turn, but once you have done that, you will see that it will light onto the mannequin, and we will get the Paladin's brooch. Now with that gets placed inside of the sword room area, nice and close, and you've got it, same old deal. All we need to be doing is killing zombies in the area. However, with this one we do get a little bit of assistance from that laser there, as it kills a bunch of zombies in that, so that's pretty cool. But same deal, once you guys have filled up or killed enough zombies to fill it up, you will get the light incantation, and that will lead us into our fourth and final incantation, which is going to be the Belmong, or the dark incantation. Now the first step in this one is we want to make our way into the Pack-a-Punch room. Now inside of the Pack-a-Punch area, just behind it, is going to be a slide. So we are going to need another 500 points to use this slide, and this is going to take us back to spawn. But on the way down on the right hand side, you see there is a vulture just on that rock there before you come out. You just want to shoot that, and then it's going to start flying around the map in a clockwise direction, and what you need to do is shoot it down. It was a little bit embarrassing how long it took me, but you'll see here that once you get it, we are going to get an item that will slowly come down to the ground. And we are going to want to pick that up. Now that is going to be a talon, and I'm sure you've guessed it by now, we need to go and put that into a soul box. Now the location of the talon ritual is going to be in the Undercroft area, so that's just at the bottom of the castle, kind of just in the room next to Pack-a-Punch, or depending which way you're coming from where the swords are. And we're going to place that down, and same deal, just filling it up, killing enough zombies, and once you've done that, we will get the pedestal with our chest, and then we just need to melee it with our sword to reveal our incantation. This is the dark one. This is our fourth and final incantation, and now we have all 4. This will be for a future step, but it's good to get these out of the way because you are going to need them, and we can move on to our next main part of this Easter egg. So for the next step, guys, it is a bit multi-layered. However, if nothing makes sense right now, just wait a couple minutes, and when we get to a certain part, it will all come together. Now the first part of this Easter egg step is we need to collect these 4 torn pages. Now these pages are always all going to spawn in the sitting rooms here, and they look like this. just this kind of piece of paper with this glowing red symbol on it. There are 4 of them in this room, and I'm not going to show you all the locations as they do change, because sometimes it's the difference between on that TV there and on the couch. So if you see it in one game in one place and then the next it's not there, just pretty much have a look right next to it and it should be somewhere in the area. But we do need to be coming into this room where Stamina Up is, finding those 4 pages and then going and purchasing Millie Macchiato. Millie Macchiato's just to the right of the castle if you're facing the front door, and obviously how much that costs depends on how many perks you do or don't have, but we are going to need this, so go ahead and grab that perk. That is going to be for later as well, just like the pages, and then we're going to make our way into spawn. Now in spawn, if we were facing the golem, we just want to be going into the room that is behind him. This is the tavern. And inside of the tavern there are going to be 6 jugs, all inside this area as well. These do have a fixed spawn, however I'm not going to show all of them as well. Once you do it once or twice you'll know where they all are. So for the sake of making this a fast guide, we'll just keep it at that. So what we're looking at here are Roman numerals. You see a 1 line is 1, 2 lines is 2, 3 lines is 3. This goes from 1 to 6, and when you interact with the jugs you will see you get a symbol. So what you need to be doing is matching the symbol with the number, and that will make sense in a second when we have to enter in this code into a wall by shooting certain panels. So you see here I have 4, that is kind of like a sideways 6. And we have another one here. This is 2, this is just a circle. So there are a multitude of different patterns, so in your game these will change every time, the number and the pattern. However, the locations of the jug bottles will always remain the same. So you see 3 here is a wave. So once you guys have all 6 of those Roman numerals matched up with a symbol, you need to make your way into the Undercroft. This is just opposite the triple armor in the Pack-a-Punch room. Very easy to find, and this is where Millie Macchiato comes in. We're just going to melee this wall here to reveal these symbols that look awfully familiar. These are the ones that we got off the jugs in the tavern. Now with that Roman numerals that told us what number matched what symbol is the order you need to enter it in. So let's say 1 you had just a circle, you would shoot just the circle on your wall as your first one, and then your second one, your third one, all the way to 6. So once you guys have done all 6, the board will completely disappear, and that's going to open up a panel that is right next to the board. So that panel is going to reveal 4 symbols, and those symbols we are going to have to jot down or memorize depending on how good you are at remembering stuff. I'm not, so I write them down. And this is where those 4 pages come in that we found in the sitting room. We're going to insert that into the book. Now what you're going to notice is that we have 4 kind of eyes with different lines coming out of them, or circles. So you need to write them down in order from top left to bottom right, just as you would read a book. And these symbols here represent traps that are around the map. And we are going to have to activate those traps and kill zombies in it, doing it in the order that we see in this book. So this is what a normal trap looks like. It has a border around it that is lit up, and this is what we are looking for, one of our symbols on the book where they don't have a border lit up. This is how you know that these are the symbols that you are looking for. What you need to do is just look at a normal trap symbol, compare it to one that you need, and you will easily be able to tell the difference. So right here we actually have one that is one of our last ones, so we're just marking down where this was so we can come back to this one. But you do want to find all the locations of where they are, and then start with your first one. This was another one in the village. This is the eyelashes one. You can see we write down what you think it is. This one had real bunchy eyelashes, so that's what we called it. The first one we got was the double circled one. This is probably the hardest one to discern from a normal one because it does kind of look like a normal trap. However, it has 2 circles around the outside rather than one like a normal trap. So that's a good way of telling if this is your symbol. So what we want to do is we want to get a few zombies around here. It takes around about 10 to 15. We're going to activate the trap and then kill zombies. You see here we pretty much insta-finished it because we had so many zombies. The circle will disappear. You can tell that it's different from a normal trap because a normal trap lasts a lot longer than this one does. and then we make our way over to our second one, which happened to be the eyelash one in the village. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to turn it on, kill a bunch of zombies till it disappears, and we're just going to do this for all 4. Just note that this trap does cost 1600 points, so I'm not going to do the maths on it, but you are going to need a fair few amount of points. You at least 4,000 5,000 points to be able to do this, so on a later round is probably when you'll want to be doing this step, but you see here that we are doing our last one inside of the sitting rooms, and you will get a quote from Craft once you have completed all 4 in the correct order. And to check that you have done it properly, you will come back to the book and notice that these symbols are no longer highlighted. Once you guys have done that, you are ready to move on with the next step. So for the next step, what we want to do is make our way past Speed Cola just outside the sitting room down the stairs. You're going to notice that there are these symbols on the wall. Now this is only revealed once you guys have done the trap step, and what it shows us is a order that will make sense in a moment. But what we need to be doing is looking from top and going clockwise, is just associating the symbols with the certain swords. As you see, the top is electric, the lion is light, the bottom is the dragon, and the left one is the vulture. So now that you guys have a order, what we need to be doing is coming into the statue room, and we need to be using our new incantations that we got in the first part of this guide, where we need to be picking those up with the appropriate sword, meleeing the statue with that incantation, and then doing an inspect. You've seen what it looks like from the outside view looking in, and now I will show you what it looks like when I do it. But you need to see here we have the light sword. What we want to be doing is grabbing the light incantation. Now all the incantations are inside of this room, and we want to be grabbing the light sword with the light incantation, using the incantation on the statue, and then inspecting our sword in front of it. What you'll see is the statue will move, and then it'll glow, letting us know that we have done that in the correct order as was shown on that wall that I just looked at before. And as good measures, you clean up after yourself, put the sword back, and carry on with your next one in the order that we had just seen on that wall at the bottom of the stairs. Now if you guys can't find the incantation in this room, maybe someone grabbed her or it hasn't respawned yet, what you can always do is go back to the area of where you done the ritual with the sword that you're holding, and you'll be able to grab one from there. Come back and do the melee with the statue, and then do the inspect, and you just need to be doing this with all 4 of the statues, just in that order we've seen on the wall. Once you've done that, they're all going to link up a light, and it is going to drop down a orb. Now we want to be grabbing this orb, and once you guys have grabbed that, we can carry on with the Easter egg and move on to our elemental challenges. So the first elemental challenge we're going to be focusing on is the fire challenge. So obviously we're going to want to have the fire sword, and we're going to be coming over to this kind of pedestal here in the wall and placing the orb inside of it. Now just on a side note before we get into how to do it, anyone can actually help you with this specific challenge by using Molotovs or anything that kills zombies with fire, napalm, burn, anything like that. So it's not just specific to the person wielding the sword, anybody can get involved. As you see here, I kill zombies with a Molotov, and you'll see that this orb is like a soul box. Zombies that die by fire will fill up the orb. However, just note you are on a time limit with these challenges. If you take too long, the orb will reset and you will need to start again. The best way to do these challenges is to actually have your sword charged up. So charging it up before you start these challenges is really good, because as you see there, once my sword was charged, I was one-hitting the zombies and it was filling it up. But what you'll notice is once you guys have given the orb enough souls, you'll be able to take it back, and you won't be able to put it back. Another option you will get will be to start the elemental challenge again. That's how you know that you have failed it. So you just want to do that step until you're able to take the orb and not put it back. So the second one is going to be the light challenge. For that, just opposite Vulture Aid in the statue room up the top is the pedestal for the light orb, and with this challenge everyone can get involved. Once you put that orb in, you're going to notice that there are these big green circles in this area. They are only going to be in the statue room, and what you need to do is just run into them, and they are going to kind of shoot these orbs towards the bigger orb that we just put in the wall. I recommend that you just stay in the orb until it moves, and there are about 3 or 4 orbs on the map at one time, so you can get your teammates to help you. It's not just the person who wields the light sword, but we essentially just want to be doing this until all the big green orbs disappear, and then once that happens, we're able to go up to that wall, grab out the mystic orb, and we are ready to move on to the next one. The next one we're going to be doing is the Raven Sword, and for that, a good thing to notice is you've seen there I just picked up my incantations. Now all your rituals of where you're doing these are pretty much next to where you've done your incantations at the beginning of this guide, so you're able to use those also to help fill them up, because with this one it is going to be dark damage, so obviously using a charged shot from your sword is best. If not, you see there I use my incantation, which is my tactical slot, and with that one it does take a while for the kind of souls to get there as they teleport randomly around the map, but you will get getting progress for this as long as you are killing zombies with the dark energy, which is why you can also use ammo mods, so other people can actually help you with these challenges. Just like if someone was to have the electric ammo mod on their gun, they will be able to help you kill zombies that will count towards charging this orb. Deadwire, I believe. But this brings us to our last one, which is the lightning one, and this one is going to be in spawn. We've been over it plenty of times. All you need to do is charge up that orb. Once you guys have done all 4 elemental challenges, we are going to come back to this wall where the symbols were, and we are going to place the orb into the wall. What that's going to do is it's going to open it up, and that's going to reveal to us a ancient mystic recording. We're going to activate that, and that's going to give us a bit of dialogue. We're also going to pick up this guardian key that is going to give us access to the boss fight. So now is the time to get your perks, upgrade your weapons. I recommend buying mutant injections, self revives, legendarying your weapon. Anything you pretty much can to help you will benefit with this boss fight, which we will be going over. The boss does move a lot, so I don't recommend using snipers or anything like that for the high damage. Just use a gun where you're able to consistently shoot him and stay on target. But with that being said, guys, let's get into the boss fight. So to activate the boss fight, we want to make our way into the spawn, and we're going to place the guardian key into this stone pillar that the golem is standing on. Once that happens, it's going to be like the other maps where we vote if you want to actually do the final encounter, and when you guys are ready, you just want to be accepting it. Now the golem is gonna start making some moves, however this is not where the boss fight is. He's going to awaken in his glorious state, and then he is going to slam the ground and teleport us to our main arena. Now this boss has a lot of interesting moves, and we will be going over those, but first let's just have a look at the layout of the land. We are going to be inside this big circle room. It is very generous with the space that you get right now, and just a quick note, you can't actually damage him until his health bar comes up, and if you wonder why I'm using a sniper when I told you not to, that's exactly why. The boss just moves around and is too agile to really be effective with the sniper. This is just his first phase, so it's not so bad. However, while you're trying to dodge all the fire, the zombies and his attacks, not like in Terminus where you can kind of hide just behind the barrel, you have to be moving a lot in this fight. Using explosive weapons or bullet guns with this fight definitely the way to go. Now the boss has 3 stages. The first stage here is going to be to 3/4 of his life, and the first phases he is pretty much just a bullet sponge. He will take a ton of damage where you think you're not doing anything, until eventually you will see that happen. His armor will crack. Now once his armor cracks, it will reveal weak points on him, just like we see on the other bosses. It is kind of glowing, however in this one it's not as obvious, but it usually here is always going to be his shoulder. So once his armor is cracked and you can see those vulnerable spots, you do want to start focusing them. Now his first set of moves are pretty much he just walks around stomping. If you get too close, he can slam his hammer down, and occasionally he will slam it down and it will send a lava wave at you. Pretty much easy to dodge, especially if you have PhD slider. So nothing too much to worry about, just focus on those critical spots. But what's going to happen is, for the first phase, once he gets to 3/4 health, he is going to go and become invincible in the middle of the room, while he kind of powers up and shrinks the map a little. You see the lava coming in, just shrinking the zone a tiny bit, not too much, still quite easy to deal with. However, in this state we are going to have a bunch of zombies, parasites, and a couple of those real speedy amalgam things. Still don't know what they're called, so we're just going to have to kind of survive this lockout phase until his health bar appears and we can continue to damage him. This is actually a real useful time to kill the zombies and get them to drop armor plates. So you can stack back up on those, or max ammo on the ground, especially if you have Vulture Aid. This really helps a lot, this part. Also note that if you don't have enough ammo, if you just hold out to the end of that phase, once it's over and he becomes active again, you'll see that we have a max ammo on the map, and that will consistently stay there until you guys pick it up, so you don't have to grab it straight away if you don't want to. Now for the second phase, he gets a brand new attack, which you see there, which is kind of like this tri-molten jet burst out of his mouth, and a massive leap slam. Now that does big AoE damage, and you always have to be looking where this boss is, because he can down you very quickly between a stomp and then standing in some of the fire he's left behind from that move you just seen him do there. The fire is pretty much the most lethal part of this fight. Standing in that does a lot of damage, and then getting hit at the same time can really bring you down very quickly, so you always want to be staying moving in this boss fight. Now bringing up the mutant injection, as you can see we're in kind of an enclosed area, so chopper gunners and all of that are no good. This is where the mangler cannon or mangler suit shines. You see here I'm doing 23,000 damage and I'm not even hitting his crit spots, so this is a good way if you had 4 players with this to really chunk him down, as well as keeping you guys safe from the zombies in that. And you see here these kind of speedy amalgams, they are more aggroed towards me, so I'm able to keep the pressure off my teammates in a sticky situation if they need to heal or plate up or something like that. So just be aware that bringing those manglers score streaks in are very useful. Now when we get to a quarter health on him, this is going to be the third stage. He's going to go invincible and we are going to get a very small arena. You see here now he has pretty much reduced it in half, and we are just able to sit on this tiny little platform. We are going to get another wave of zombies, heavy zombies, parasites, speedy manglers, speedy amalgams, and normal amalgams. I think you get 1 amalgam in this final phase, so it's good to save everything you have for this final kind of battle. And you see here I'm also able to use my incantations. Around the map are pedestals with our incantations on it. There are all 4, so you're able to use the light incantation to drop health orbs. The other 3 are mostly to deal with the zombies. So if you are going to use one, I highly recommend meleeing zombies with the incantation to drop health orbs around the map. So we are in the third phase now, and you can see we're just slowly whittling away at him. In this phase he is highly more aggressive. He has around about the same amount of moves, however he is a lot quicker and a lot stronger. But you'll see here is once we have whittled him down and finally taken his health, he explodes and we're able to grab the artifact. The cutscene is going to play, so I'm going to finish here so I don't ruin for you. I hope you enjoyed my guide. It took a lot of effort. Please leave a like, comment or subscribe. I appreciate you all. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back?